Hello class. Today we're on 3.5 polynomial long division. So we're going to be dividing polynomials through the long division method. Now I will let you know this is probably one of the most challenging things we will do all year. So make sure you pay close attention to this video. I guess on the bright side is it's not going to get much harder than this. So let's recall, first, not before that, let's talk about this. So this is how we're going to be writing our answers in. We have some value is equal to something times something plus the remainder. So you can think of it like 7 is equal to 3 times 2 plus 1, something like that, because 3 times 2 is 6 plus a remainder of 1. I'll show you what I mean after when we get there. So let's recall long division, because it's going to work the same way. Under this, or in this little box thing, we have our number, and then out here we have the number that we're dividing by. And so recall how it works. We just isolate the first one. We think, okay, 2 goes into 3 how many times? Well, 1, right? And then we multiply the 2, so 2 times 1 is 2. And then we change the sign and subtract. And then we bring down the next one. Then we think, okay, 12 times what gives me, or 2 times what gives me 12? That's going to be 6. So 2 times 12, or 2 times 6 is 12. And then we change the sign. And then drop the next one down. And then remember, if it doesn't go in, you just drop the next one down. And you think, okay, well, 0. We need 0 here. And because 2 goes into 1 0 times. And then we have 2 goes into 17 how many times? 8. So 2 times 8 is 16. Subtract, we have 1. So our remainder is 1. And just so you know, when we have a remainder, which we usually do when we do division, and we usually will when we will do polynomial long division, we put our remainder divided by whatever we originally divided by. So in this case, we divided by 2. Our remainder is 1, so it's going to be plus 1 over 2, plus 1/2, essentially, right? So just keep that in mind, the idea of the remainder. Okay, so there's no practice like practice, and so let's just get into it. So here I have 3x cubed minus 4x squared plus x minus 48, and we're going to be dividing by x minus 3. So we're going to want to set it up here, and under here we're going to be writing our number that we're dividing into. So it's 3x cubed minus 4x squared plus x minus 48. And we're dividing by x minus 3. We're going to put that outside. So we're going to treat this just like we do here. It's just going to be a little more complicated, I suppose. So our first step here is we want to think, okay, just look at the first term here. Think x times what will give me 3x cubed. And in this case, x times 3x squared is going to give me 3x cubed, right? Because x times 3x squared is 3x cubed. So now what we want to do is we want to take this and multiply it by whatever number we have up here. So 3x squared times 3x is 3x cubed. And then 3x squared times negative 3 is negative 9x squared. And you're going to want to line it up with whatever the same term is here. So we're going to line it up right up here. So I said 3x squared times negative 3 is negative 9x squared. And now just like up here with regular division, with regular long division, we want to now flip the signs. So this becomes negative, this becomes positive. And then now we add, or we subtract. So this becomes 0, right? 3x cubed minus 3x cubed is 0. And then negative 4x squared plus 9x squared is 5x squared. And then now you'll want to drop down the x, so plus x. And so now we do the same thing again. We want to look at the first term here, x. X times what is going to give me 5x squared? So let's see. X times what? That's going to be 5x, so plus 5x. So now we're going to want to multiply this by this up here. So 5x times x is 5x squared, which is what we wanted. And then 5x times negative 3 is negative 15x. And then now we want to change the sign. So negative, that becomes negative. This becomes positive. This zeroes out. And then we add this. X plus 15x is 16x. And then we drop this down, minus 48. And then we have to do it one more time. X times what is going to give me 16x? So that's going to be plus 16. And now we're multiplying this by 16. So 16 times x is 16x. 16 times negative 3 is, let's see, negative 48. And then now we want to switch the sign, so this becomes negative, this becomes positive. We're left with 0 here, so there's actually no remainder. So our answer is actually up here. So if you think about it, this times this is going to equal this. Right? Just how if I say 6 is equal to 3 times 2, if I divide 6 by 3, my answer is the other factor, 2. If I divide 6 by 2, my answer is the other factor, 3. And it makes sense that the two factors equal 6, in the same way that this times this is going to equal this. So the way we're going to write our answer here is going to be in this form, that our original function is equal to our two factors plus the remainder if we have one. And in this case, we don't have one. So our answer, and you don't need to write this part. This part I'm not too worried about, the original function, just as long as you write this part. So our answer is really going to be, let's see, it's going to be x minus 3, whatever we divided by, times this up here. 3x squared plus 5x plus 16. And we didn't have a remainder, so it'd be plus 0 technically, but I don't need to write that. Boy, so that is it. That is polynomial long division. So let's, we're just going to go through some examples in this video. Just example after example, show you different things that might pop up and all that. So let's, I guess, let's get to it. Okay, so here we have 4x cubed plus 6x squared minus 5 divided by 2x plus 1. And notice what's going on here. There's no x term in this. And although there's no x term, we want a placeholder for the x. So when we write our value under this thing, we're going to want to add a 0x, just as a placeholder, okay? So make sure you have every term represented, even if you have to put a 0 in there. So what I mean is this is going to be 4x cubed plus 6x squared. And then there's no x term, but I want an x in there, so 0x plus 0x minus 5. And then whatever I have out here goes out here, so 2x plus 1. And now we're ready to get started. So let's see. Okay, so we want to take a look at our first term. So 2x times what gives me 4x cubed? So that's going to be 2x squared. So 2x squared times 2x. So now we're going to multiply both of these by this. So 2x squared times 2x is 4x cubed. 1 times 2x squared is just x squared, 2x squared, and we want to line it up with our x squared term down here because we're going to be adding. Remember, you can only add and subtract like terms. So plus 2x squared. And then now we want to switch the signs. So this becomes negative, and this positive becomes negative. So this zeroes out. 4x cubed minus 4x cubed is 0. 6x squared minus 2x squared is 4x squared. And we want to bring down our next term, the 0x. So now we're going to do the same thing. 2x times what gives me 4x squared, and that's going to be 2x. And now we're multiplying again. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times 1 is 2x. And then and then we want to change the signs. And so this zeroes out. 2x minus 2x is negative 2x. And then finally, bring this down, negative 5. So we're going to want to do this one more time. 2x times what gives me negative 2x? Well, that's just negative 1. So now we're multiplying this by negative 1. So 2x times negative 1 is negative 2x. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. And then we want to switch the signs. So this becomes 0. This becomes negative 4. And so notice now we have a remainder here. So this, and we're going to put our remainder, it's minus 4, over whatever we divided by, 2x plus 1. So this is our answer here, and we want to write it in that way that we wrote it. So it's expressed with those two factors. So our answer is going to be what we divided by, 2x plus 1 is times this, times 2x, what do we get? 2x squared plus 2x minus 1. And then minus our remainder. So minus 4, or plus our remainder, but in this case it's minus 4 over 2x plus 1. And that's our answer there. All right. Let's go over another one now. You'll notice on this one has all of the terms, so we don't need to add any placeholders in there. So we're going to have 6x cubed plus 2x squared minus 7x plus 2. 3x minus 2. Okay. So let's see here. Okay, so first we're going to want to think 3x times what gives me 6x squared, and that's going to be 2x squared. And now we multiply this by 2x squared. So 2x squared times 3 is 6x cubed. And then 2x squared times negative 2 is negative 4x squared. We're going to want to switch the signs. So negative, and then it becomes positive. This zeroes out. This becomes 6x squared. And we're going to want to do it again. 3x times what gives me 6x squared? And that's, well, plus 2x. So 3x times 2x is 6x squared. Oh, I forgot to drop this down. And then, because remember we want to drop that down. And then 2x times negative 2 is negative 4x. And we want to switch the signs here. So this becomes negative 3x. And then drop down this last value, plus 2. And we want to think, okay, so 3x times what gives me negative 3x? That's going to be negative 1. And so now we're multiplying. So negative 1 times 3x is negative 3x. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 2. Then switch the signs. This all becomes 0. So it looks like this one does not have a remainder either. So let's see. So we'll write the answer as this times this. So we have 3x minus 2 times 2x squared plus 2x minus 1. And that's the answer. All right, let's do a couple more examples here. Boy, this is taxing on the brain, isn't it? Okay. So here, let's see, we're going to have 3x to the 4th plus 5x cubed plus 2x squared plus 5x minus 1. And I'll extend this over. And we're dividing by 2x, or sorry, we're dividing by x squared plus 1. So let's notice what's different about this one. In the past, in all of our previous examples, the powers have been 1 apart. We have a linear and we have a constant. We have a linear term, we have a constant. But this now we have a squared term and we have a constant. So this is what we're going to want to do. Well, when we do this, we're going to want to be careful with how we align these things. So you can just follow my lead on this. But we're going to treat it otherwise the same way. So let's think about this. X squared times what gives me 3x to the 4th. In this case, that's going to be 3x squared. And we're going to multiply again. So 3x squared times 2x squared is 3x to the 4th. 3x squared times 1 is 3x squared. Now, be careful here. You're not going to want to put it here, because this is a cubed term. We're going to want to put it over here. So it's going to go, let's see, so 3x squared times 1 is going to be 3x squared. And then now we want to subtract what we have, change the signs and combine these. So this becomes 0. This becomes negative 1x squared. And then we're going to want to drop this one up front, because we can't forget about it. And now we're going to deal with these two. So x squared times 5x cubed, or times what gives me 5x cubed, and that's going to be 5x. And so now we're going to multiply this by 5x. So 5x times x squared is going to be 5x cubed. 5x times 1 is going to be 5x. So again, be careful. We're going to want to drop it over here, not down here. Okay? So in fact, we should have dropped this down. So plus 5x. And then, so yeah, the 5x is going to go here. And we want to change the signs here. So this zeroes out. So we have negative x squared. In fact, this zeroes out too. So now we can drop down this. So minus 1. And now we're going to do it one more time. So x squared times what gives me negative x squared? In this case, that's going to be negative 1. And then we multiply negative 1 by both of these, or to both of these. Negative 1 times x squared is negative x squared. And then negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. And then we want to change the signs. Turns out this has no remainder either. So our answer here is going to be this times this. X squared plus 1 times 3x squared plus 5x minus 1. All right. We'll do one more example, and it's going to be like this last one we did, in the sense that, well, we're going to combine a few things that we learned here. This skips one, right? So it goes x squared to our constant. And then this is skipped too. There's no x squared term. So remember what we do here if there's no term. We need that placeholder. So just put that placeholder in there. Okay, let's do this. So we're going to have 4x to the 4th plus 3x cubed. There's no x squared term, so it's going to be plus 0x squared minus 5x plus 10. I never make these long enough. Okay. And then we're dividing by x squared plus 3. Okay. So again, hopefully we're getting a little more comfortable with this. X squared times what gives me 4x to the 4th? That's going to be 4x squared. And we're multiplying this by 4x squared now. Oh, I should have done some blue. Oh well. No, I'll convert now to blue. So 4x squared times x squared is 4x to the 4th. 4x squared times 3 is 12x squared. And remember, we're going to want to write it over here, not here, because it's a squared term. This is a cubed term. So let's see, 12x squared. And then we're going to want to change the signs here, so minus, and then this becomes a minus. And so this zeroes out. This becomes negative 12x squared. And then we need to drop this one down. So 3x cubed. So now, oh, and we want to drop this one down as well, minus 5x. Now, we want to multiply, find something that 2x or x squared times something multiplies to this. So x squared times 3x is going to give us 3x cubed. So 2x squared times 3x is 3x cubed. And then multiply it. 3x times 3 is 9x. Remember, you want to put under the x's. And then subtract. Oh, we'll change both sides. This zeroes out. This stays negative 12x squared. And then this, let's see here, negative 5 minus 9 is negative 14x. And then drop this one down, plus 10. And then now do the same thing with this. So x squared times something gives me negative 12x squared. That's going to be negative 12. So we're going to have negative 12x squared. Negative 12 times 3, negative 36. Let's see what we have here. This zeroes out. This becomes negative 26. And we still have this here, so negative 14x. And this is our remainder here, because we can't get rid of it. The reason we can't get rid of it is because our first term here, x squared, is larger than the power here, just this x. So we're done. So our answer here, and this is our remainder, so our answer here is going to be this, x squared plus 3 times 4x squared plus 3x minus 12 plus, and then I'm going to write this in parentheses, our remainder in parentheses, just because we have two terms here. Our remainder is negative 14x minus 26, and we need to write it over whatever we have here. So x squared plus 3. So that's polynomial long division. I told you it was a doozy, and it turned out to be a doozy. So let's get started on the worksheet. I understand if you don't finish all the questions on the worksheet because this does take a while. I would much prefer you you work on getting it down than completing all of them. So just spend the 45 minutes, or sorry, the 90 minutes just working on them, and whenever you're finished, just turn it in, and we'll spend a few days on this. Well, actually, no, don't turn it in if you're not finished. We'll figure it out. If you need an extra day, I'll give you another day. But yeah, maybe I would recommend maybe rewatching this video just if you need the extra assistance, or of course just ask me. I'll be around. So that's all I have for you. Have a good day. Bye.